Welcome in, come meet my Bristol bro. Anything from this to that, my Bristol bro. So nice to introduce my Bristol bro. Anyone from him to her, my Bristol bro. Work with these hands, you see this hard form. Say with your chest, my pen is hardcore. Even at my desk, feel like a star-lord. And it shows how much we give it all for. Now it's time to give them all an encore. Till it's back to the drawing. Welcome in, come meet my Bristol bro. Anything from this to that, my Bristol bro. So nice to introduce my Bristol bro. Anyone from him to her, my Bristol bro.
Welcome in, and y'all. It's another Tuesday, which means you're hanging out with your Bristol bros. Samuel, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing all right. I don't know. I'm just busy, dude. You know how it goes.
And you're wanting to take on more, as we talked about offline. You're like, let's just do it. I mentioned my anthology on the last Uncanny Artman stream. You're like, yeah, I'll make time. I'll just do something for it.
Dude, I was thinking to myself earlier just how many comics I have like in motion right now. It's like 6.
That's crazy.
It honestly, it's a lot. And I was kind of even thinking to myself, like, I need to start thinking about ways to start shoveling this stuff down the line because it's like I'm piling it on too much.
Maybe some delegation might be in order or something, like, you know, be the man behind the scenes, giving the orders, and let some other people do some of the grunt work for a little bit.
Yeah, I'm taking my cues from Eli Schwab. You know what I'm saying?
There you go.
Yeah.
Let's pop in the chat real quick before we bring our guest on. We have our buddy Michael Gardner. He says, "What's up, all y'all?" We got our friend Zoe in here. Sup, guys? Can't stay for long. Have to go walk the dog, but thought I'd drop in and say hi. That's a worthy reason to need to leave, Zoe. And Dan the man, Dan Goodwin Art. He says, "Bros." Did you see the inspired piece that Dan walked away from here with? He did the I Hate Fairyland dork piece after coming on Bristol Bros.
Yeah, I saw that he did that. And then he IC3 in Jacksonville was just over the weekend.
Yeah.
So, you know, Brandon Paul and Dan and a bunch of other people were all out there. And I saw that Dan had picked up a Chuck Maxwell sketch card.
Yes, he did.
So
yeah, putting those two guys together, both the anthropomorphic dog creators got together at the con. That was awesome. And that was Brandon's first con, I believe.
Yeah, Brandon and Dan's first con.
And Dan too. Okay, yeah. That's crazy. Well,
I mean, it's a good con to do it, you know.
It's a good one, yeah. Well, we got Santiago in here, Black Noir, Espinoza. He said, Dan says IC3 was great. Brandon had my back. That's awesome.
Yeah, Dan and I got things cooking. I'm scheming.
Nice.
Always scheming.
Always. That doesn't surprise me. Well, we shouldn't delay things any longer here. Why don't you make the introduction of our guests and we'll bring her on.
Sure. Well, so I tabled Heroes Con, back in June last month, and my girlfriend, while she was stomping around the show floor, and I was kind of stuck at the table. She had gone by a booth actually and had picked up one of Hannah's comics, and she brought it over to me because she was like, "I think this would be something you'd be interested in."
Yeah, that's the one you were saying, and I said your lady knows you well.
Yeah, so I, of course, I looked at it and I was like, "Oh shit, yeah!" So then now here we are, having you on the show. So
that's awesome. Now, did you have a chance to meet her in person when you were there, or this is your first time?
No, yeah, I reached out to her on Instagram, and that's where we've been chatting since, just kind of just about comics and everything like that. So
awesome,
super excited to get to know more.
All right, well, without further ado, Hannah E. Smith is here with us. What's up, Hannah?
Hey guys, what's up?
Welcome in. Good to have you.
Thanks, it's good to be here.
Awesome. We got B. Paul, and we were just talking about him. He's in the chat. Says, hey. Hannah.
So, go ahead.
So Sam you know, he knows more about you than I do. I've seen the cover of your book,
Hmm.
and I have to know the concept behind that artwork, like the inner workings of the person and all of this. Does this have something to do with the theme of the book? Because Sam's read it, but I haven't had a chance to
Yeah,
check out stuff.
it does. I mean, I guess it's a little literal. She's an android, but thematically, it's a little. She was created just to be like an assassin robot, and she's broken out of the facility she was created in before she even hits the market. And she meets this auto mechanic who helps fix her up, and they sort of just become bros. She's living in this
Nice.
motorhome, and so he's sort of literally and a little emotionally fixing her throughout the story.
That's awesome. All right, Sam, I bulldozed at the beginning because that was a burning question I had after seeing the art and putting the thumbnail together. So, all
Oh,
right.
it's all good. I was going to ask you. It's like the pink motif. What was kind of the inspiration behind that? 'Cause obviously, that's kind of my branding here. So I'm kind of curious.
Yeah, as you'll tell, Sam doesn't like pink at all. Usually he has a pink shirt on too. I'm very surprised that, well, you got the pink cords on the headphones there, I
Yeah,
think.
yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, well, the inspiration for that, not much different than you. I'm also just a big fan of the color pink. Like, I think you can see our couch back here that is
Yeah, I
pink.
see that container on the shelf too. Yep.
Most of the items in the kitchen are also pink. I got a nice pink
Nice.
Dutch oven. But yeah, I just sort of wanted to have a monochrome layout for the comic, and I didn't want to do just plain black and white, even though I'm usually a big black and white fan. So I thought I would just go with pink because it's a great color.
That's awesome. Keep it simple and keep it to the things you like, right?
Yeah, something to pop, but not too bright. I definitely went through a couple of test shades where I was sending it to people and being like, "So is this hurting your eyes, or can you read this?"
Sam's all about the hot pink.
Yeah, I don't know if you're like wrestling at all, but like Bret Hart is a big inspiration to my colorway that I got, the pink and black attack. You know what I'm saying?
And when I skated back when I was a kid, I had a hot pink Tony Hawk skateboard.
I know the one.
And you know the one with the skull?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I had that one.
So with the book itself, it was put out through a publisher. Is it your first experience putting out work through a publisher? Like, have you put out things self-published, or what's kind of your experience with that?
Yeah, I have done some self-publishing. I've been doing, some self-publishing since I was practically in middle school, if it counts as my first foray into comics. Was a friend who was writing a superhero series, and I was drawing it, and we were printing it and distributing it amongst our friends. But that was my first publishing gig that was not like a Kickstarter publication or just a self-printed work. So
I noticed just on surface, surface, like my first glossary look at things and making an assumption about your style. Do you have some anime influence in your work?
I do have a
manga and anime.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, that was super cool. And are you a traditional artist? Do you prefer working traditionally, or do you draw digitally?
I'm pretty much all traditional. Obviously, the colors and the tones on that one, the halftone is digital, but I pretty much do the whole stage, every stage of it traditionally. I like to do my thumbnails traditional, and then I start out really small and I blow them up on the printer, and then I just keep printing it out to print size for my pencils, and then full 11 by 17 for the inks. Like,
so you actually have originals to sell?
I do, yeah. I've got a huge all 70 pages of that are at a big stack in my parents' house in California.
Something we were giving our buddy Dan a little hard time about when we had him on here. He just did his current book traditionally, but he was 100% digital prior to that, and we're like, dude, gotta have those originals. He's like, I know, but I love digital.
It's definitely, selling them is great when you can sell them, but when you just have the huge stack, you're like, what do I do with this now?
Right? They take up some space, don't they?
Certainly do.
With you being in Philly, are you going to be at the IC3, the Indie Creator Con, at all?
I
in
am not.
Providence?
Yeah, no, I'm not. I'm not going to be going to that one this year, but I've
Oh,
not
speaking,
yet sort of get into the bigger con scene. But
We got the man in here.
I was about to say, speaking of the devil, literally the man.
Yep. Kazuro's in the house. What's up, buddy?
And then as well, you being out of Philly, or are you familiar with who Monty Keene is at all?
yeah,
Yeah, that dude's insane.
yeah,
One of my favorites. With more to come on that, James. I got things to tell you after this. Speaking of which, so
Always got the
Yeah.
tea to spill.
yeah, always scheming, dude. So because I don't think my girlfriend had when she was at Heroes Con, I don't think she had mentioned that she had mentioned you weren't there at all. Were you?
No, it's
tabling?
just my publisher Akira who's running the table. Yeah. for the
Gotcha.
So
And is this the last book that you had put out?
yeah, it's my last, like, I've been in a couple anthologies since, but that's
Mhm.
my last, like, solo work that's been out. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Now, with the con experience, have you attended many cons yourself, or do you usually prefer to let the publisher handle that type of business? I know artists, we can be reclusive in nature from time to time. Like,
Mhm.
do you like getting, tabling at a con and being there and interacting, or do you prefer to stay on the other side of things?
I'd
Be
say-
a con attendee as opposed to somebody that's sitting there like in a little fishbowl with everybody looking at them.
I definitely would say I'm a little half and half. I mean, I only sort of recently got into like the zine fest scene here in Philly. There's been a pretty big like indie comics scene and zine scene here that I did not even know about before I moved here. And so I've gone to a lot of zine fests and tabled and gotten a little more into it. But prior to that, I was definitely more of a shy attendee. I'm hoping to get into the bigger con scene now that I've tested the waters on my
Yeah.
zine booth. Like,
Branching out a little bit.
yeah.
Nice.
Are you, with getting more into zine culture and things like that, are you finding that because I guess this is like a topic. I was talking to Michelle Fife at Heroes Con about this. Are you finding that there's like a stronger zine and like DIY movement right now than there were like in previous years in terms of like the amount of output that's out there? It seems like it's more popular, like the same thing with like ash cans and things like that as well.
Yeah, I definitely feel like it is. I feel like I was not really, like hearing about as much zine stuff going on for the last few years, and now I just feel like everyone's there's just a lot more community, at least in person. A lot more people putting stuff together to just have little fests and little comics reading shows and stuff. Like, it's maybe just sort of coming after COVID. Everyone wants to hang out a little, like
Yeah. Now, as far as your love of comics and art, how far back does that go for you?
It's definitely pretty far back. It's a childhood love.
Okay. What
yeah.
was the gateway?
Batman was my first love. I was a big mildly embarrassing like Joker Harley Quinn girly at
There
like
you
age
go.
12. Like,
Now, was this via the animated series, or were
Yeah,
you picking up? Okay.
absolutely, yeah. Bruce
So-
Timm's still a big influence on my work.
So the animation was the gateway, and then
Mhm.
did that lead into you looking into, okay, I want to see some more of the source material of where these characters come from.
Yeah. hmm
Awesome.
Yeah, and as I said, I had a friend. I won't shout him out in case he doesn't want me to, but he still works in writing now. Who my friend in middle school, who was a lot more of a comics reader at the time, and he was like, "Oh, you gotta start reading this stuff." He was, forcing me to be getting
Nice.
into this stuff, and he was a big writer, and so he was the one who was writing little superhero series, and he was like, "All right, you're gonna draw this." Like, not a question, it was a demand. Like, I was drawing
There you
stuff
go.
for him, and I've never went back. Like, it's what I wanted to do from that point onward. Like,
Now, prior to discovering the animated series and getting into comics, were you already drawing?
yeah, definitely. Yeah, not quite at the the level that I really started to be drawing. Drawing every day at that age, but I was absolutely always an artist.
And did you decide to seek out formal training in that regard?
Yeah, I mean, I went to SCAD after high school to Savannah
Okay.
College of Art and Design. But other than that, pretty much just drawing on my own.
Do you know Clara Meese?
No, I do not.
See, SCAD must have a ton of people because you're the second guest. Last week, Deanna went to SCAD as well, and I'm like, "Do you know Clara? Do you know Clara?" No, one of these days, Sam, somebody will know Clara.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
I think the sequential department over there is just really, really, it's always been their big thing, and it's
I
really
have a
grown,
feeling a
so,
lot of people went there. Yeah.
yeah.
What was the most valuable thing you feel you took away from your schooling there?
I think it was really learning to, maybe from more of a writing standpoint, that was just like really being able to simplify my stories and get like a very succinct, like if an assignment was like, put this in 4 pages, and being able to have a real like beginning, middle, and end in just 4 pages, like, or even just 1 page. Like, that was something that I feel like I noticed a lot of people were, it would always sort of annoy me a little in critique when someone would be like, oh, this story doesn't make any sense because it's, part of a larger thing. And it's like, well, you didn't really do the assignment. Like,
Yeah, you got to have the hook, right? You
yeah,
got
if
to
your
get them
editor
within.
wants it to be only so many pages, and you're like, well, the reader can't pretend that there's more. Like,
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny how everybody takes away like a little piece. Like I find that when I talk to people that had formal training, going to an art school, like isn't always like a huge thing. Like, oh, I learned how to draw better, this or that. It's usually something more along those lines.
mm-hmm.
But Dan Goodwin says, back in the day, growing up in GA, I always wanted to go to SCAD. Dan, you missed out, brother.
Yeah, it was a very, very cool experience for me.
But I think you're doing okay, Dan.
Yeah, I think you're doing all right, buddy. And then with Half Past Pink, I guess one of the main things that I wanted to ask, are you familiar with like what Splatoon is at all, like the Nintendo game?
Yeah, I am familiar. I never played it, but
Okay, then it's probably not an
big.
influence then, because for whatever reason, it's like when I was reading it, I got a lot of Splatoon vibes, especially with like they have more octopus tentacles in the hair, but with like the snakes and just like the way that things are kind of cartooned, it's what it reminded me of a lot. So I was kind of curious if that was a influence at all.
No, I'll definitely take that as a compliment, though. I remember when that game was really big when it was coming out, and I never ended up playing it, but I had a lot of friends who were really into it, so it could perhaps have been a subconscious influence.
Permeated your subconscious.
Yeah,
you didn't even know. Yeah.
Well, there's no better time to get into Splatoon if you got a Switch 2. There's a new one coming out in like a week and a half.
Yeah,
so.
I might have to.
I'm trying to delay the inevitable of getting my wife a Switch 2. She says, I don't need better graphics to play Animal Crossing. I'm good. I'm like, she's still hundreds of hours into Animal Crossing. I'm like, all right.
Yeah, I'm always resistant to a new console. I was just playing on my Xbox 360 like 20 minutes before.
Oh, there you go.
On this call, so
I still have mine. It's not connected, but I do still have it.
Yeah, I will be mourning it the day it finally kicks the bucket, but it's still going strong for now.
I even sold some Nintendo 64 games at a garage sale we had this last weekend. Somewhere my Nintendo 64 is kicking around up in the attic or something. I have to break it out, see if it still works.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any plans for like a sequel or maybe doing anything else with the book at all?
Definitely not like an immediate plan, but I would definitely love to make a sequel one day if that would be on the table with my publisher. I've definitely kicked around some ideas for a sequel, but it is not not in the works and not necessarily a high priority of books I'd like to work on next. But I would love to one day. I'm very fond of the characters still, and I think there's just a lot of stuff that I would have loved to have done better in the book that I could put in a sequel.
Speaking of your publisher, how did you come to be connected with them?
They also have some SCAD affiliations, and so Akira, who runs the WildStar Press, and so I think it was sort of through friends of friends that they found me, but they really just were having open submissions. I'm looking for for books, and I had happened to just finish like a pitch packet for Half Past Pink, and I was like, I'm just gonna send this to wherever, and they picked it up, and I was totally unexpected.
That's
So
awesome.
it was just a cold, sending that into their submissions while they had them open. Like,
It's worked out well. Happy, happy, right place at the right time situation.
exactly, yeah. Like,
Zoe says she doesn't think she'll ever have the heart to get rid of her N64 games. I know. I had a couple of highly sought after wrestling games that people wanted for a very high price. So I was like, okay, couldn't resist.
the money won.
The money went over, yeah.
Since you did say that you had a connection to Batman, I was kind of curious, besides Bruce Timm, if you had any familiarity or like any interest in like other lines or artists or what have you, through Batman.
Not necessarily through Batman, but I am also very big into Alex Toth, which I feel like is similar. I think Bruce Timm was also a little inspired by Alex Toth, and that very clean, sort of simple character designs, clean black and white artwork. Just always.
I had a feeling you were going to say that.
Yeah.
It seems like a good gateway.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think Tim was influenced by Toast's work as well. It's kind of an easy connection to make for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I love the clean, simplified, abstracted as character designs. It's really what speaks to me. Like,
yeah, for sure.
It's like a lot of that has to carry over because Toth did all the stuff for Hanna-Barbera back in the late 60s, 70s. Mm-hmm. So it's like all of that transfers over from animation.
It just keeps going. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, whenever you want, I do have the copy of the book here, so we can always flip the camera down. And
you mean so I actually get to see it?
Yeah, sure.
I would love that. Yeah. Does that sound like a plan, Hannah? You want him to, and we can get the director's commentary edition here.
I would be happy to. That'd be great.
Perfect. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna put Sam in the corner real quick. I'm gonna put him backstage here while he gets his camera switched around. All right, now it's just us here. We can talk about Sam behind his back. Oh, he can still hear us. Let's not do that. Speaking of animation, are you excited about the remastered Akira theater release coming up in September?
I heard about that actually, but I am now.
Remastered, a big 4K IMAX. Yeah, I guess they're doing it big, so it sounds pretty exciting.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to have to look into that. I have not watched that since I was a teenager. Like, so incredible, though.
Are you keeping up on current anime at all? Are you watching anything currently?
No, not so much. I've not been in a while. Like, it's funny, both my girlfriend and I at one point were big anime fans and didn't necessarily think we fell out of it until we were talking to friends being like, oh, what are you guys watching? And we're like, nothing.
You're like, I'm focusing on drawing my own stuff. I don't have time for that. All right. Looks like Sam's ready. So we're going to bring him back. And I'm going to give him the full stage here. Solo layout. Boom.
Boom. Look at that. So out of curiosity, do these get pressed through Tiger Print or Tiger Press?
I'm not sure. I kind of think so, though. Yeah. Like, it could be that or maybe Mixem. I'm not sure what printer they use. Yeah.
Because I know a bunch of people that use that printer, and it just looks like that to me.
Yeah, it's good.
So I was just curious.
Good spine quality.
Like, so perfect bound. It must be at least 64 pages.
Mm-hmm. I think it's maybe 70 with the fly leaves. Can't quite remember. Like,
oh, I'm loving the color choices. I can't tell that you like pink.
Yeah, it's got really good cartooning in here.
Yeah, your style is very unique, Hannah. I really like it.
Thank you.
So what were kind of like your main inspirations behind the the book itself and like the story?
Yeah, my main inspirations were actually kind of like exploitation and sexploitation films. I wanted it to kind of have a pulpy feel. There's an exploitation film called Faster Pussycat Kill Kill.
Mhm.
That's three beautiful women killing men in the desert. And I really love the. I'm from California originally, so I love the California desert, and I wanted to set the story in kind of a sort of desert American desert world, like, and just have that kind of over the top vibe that some of those old movies have. Like,
So what's the elevator pitch on this if you had to give a brief summary of what it's about from to somebody who is interested in picking it up? Because it looks like we got a lot of people in the chat who are very interested right now just based off of the artwork.
yeah, the little blurb I would give it is that it is about Unit Number 78, later renamed D, who is a pink corporation killbot from a line of killbots that is about to be disassembled and recycled. And she takes her order processing chip out before she is on the recycled assembly line.
No wonder Brandon loves it.
Yeah. And
Can't tell why. He's another anthropomorphic dog.
Yep. She breaks out of the Pink Core facility and escapes into the desert world of Half Past, and where she meets Tara, who is a mutant auto mechanic, our dog lizard man here. He's just had a nasty breakup, and they become friends, and it's mostly just them hanging out, road tripping in his motorhome, and her creator, Boss Pink, is sending other androids out to try and destroy her because she doesn't know how D has managed to escape the facility. And so it's sort of become her pet project to destroy D because she's tired with her old creations.
Nice. Brandon says, the dog aside, this work rules. I love the cartooning. That's awesome. Yeah, I feel like Chuck and Brandon's character Chuck and your character and Dan's dog character all need to cross over at some point.
Yeah, they got a dog park hangout. Like.
Yeah. I really love your use of light and shadow.
Thank you.
You have any do you enjoy Mignola's work at all? Have you looked at his stuff?
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm a big Hellboy fan, so
nice.
Yeah, I love his high contrast and his black placement. Also,
Brandon says I'm putting together a team. And Dan says it's a dog party. Yeah, I could see the Mignola influence in there. I think like anybody who is proficient at light and shadow has probably studied Mignola's work at one point or another.
Absolutely. Like, yeah, I'm always trying to get more bold with the black placement. It's just like, how much can I put in and keep my forms and shapes?
Right.
I like this little touch when I was reading it. I can start my camera's backwards, so it's kind of messing with me. But this P kind of falling off, you can still see on the building where it was originally.
Yep.
Cool little touch.
Great detail.
Thanks.
What because obviously we had talked about you had some anime and manga influences. What were some of the things that you were kind of looking at?
As far as anime and manga, I'm not sure so much what I was being inspired by while I was working on this one, but it definitely was some big influences on like my style a little earlier when I was getting into comics were Hellsing and Trigun. Well, the 90s, a little more horror, a little more scratchy styles. Like
your shot selection and the way you guide the eye with your perspective is really cool from panel to panel.
Thanks. Yeah, it's definitely a little of my film influence there. I've got
I can see that.
Of screenshots from pretty much everything I watch. I'm always
like Matrix action
and taking notes.
Yeah, cinematography. I don't think artists realize, like, if you think because you're a comic book artist, you don't need to look at film or cinematography. You're really missing out on stuff that could really teach you how to do your sequential storytelling better.
Yeah, absolutely. I really think you can, take scenes you like and just pause and break down and think about how it's flowing and how you could break that into
Yeah.
panels. Like,
Dan says, this is great. Yeah, you got some fans in the chat for sure.
thanks, guys.
Where's this book available? Is it just available through, like, do you don't really have a website set up to sell it or anything? Is it just available through the publisher?
Yeah, it's just available through WildStar Press. You can get it on their website as a digital or physical copy.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Dan wants to know if you lettered it by hand.
I do letter by hand. Yeah, this one's all hand lettered. I sometimes use Ames lettering guide. I think this one was just free-handed because I can sometimes get a little frustrated with that Ames. So
And I can also see another reason Sam likes it because I think I spotted some screen tone on that other page.
yeah, I was using some digital screen tone. Not sure it picks up super well on the camera. It's got just
Yep,
three.
I see it
there's
there.
the black, the main base pink, and then a screen tone of the same pink color, or just my three colors there, excluding the white.
Right.
Mhm.
They honestly, like Deleter, they should make colored screen tone. It's kind of weird that they only make it in like gray and black.
Yeah, I think it would be cool to have colored screen tone. I would definitely be.
I know
using
people
it
would buy it.
physically. Yeah.
I know Sam would buy enough of it to fund the operation. So we don't even want to know how much money Sam's spent on screen tone over the years. It's kind of scary.
I got to buy more too, and that's the sad thing about it.
I think you need to make a trip to Japan, Sam. Stock up.
Yeah, I'm contemplating going in November with West Coast Dave, possibly. So
That could be cool. Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, go look at Splatoon and then look at like this.
Yeah, I
You'll
do
see it.
remember the Splatoon characters with their tentacle hair. Like, not something I had been thinking about at the time, but it could have been in there. Could have been in my brain. Like,
Yeah. Just waited until now to come out.
yeah, you never really know. It also, I have not read or seen Murderbot, but I've been told that the premise is a little similar. So, I had a cousin who, while I was working on this, he was like, "Man, you got to read Murderbot. You would love it. It's just like your book."
You're like, I swear I didn't see it.
Yeah, I didn't know. Like,
Yeah, I love the dog character.
yeah, he's probably my favorite, at least design wise. I do sell copies myself when I'm at Zine Fest. I get permission from WildStar to sell copies at when I'm tabling alone, and I always doodle Tara on the back for people when I'm signing it for them. It's just the easiest to scribble out and do a little peace sign. Thanks for buying. Like,
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny how one character will kind of take off and become popular.
Yeah,
that's what our buddy Jim Mafood is running into with his most recent Kickstarter. He created a silly Muppet character called Gangster Boogie. That's just like a little side character, and that's like all everybody can talk about, not the main character.
Sometimes, yeah, they usurp your main characters. So
right?
Like, well, what do I do now? Like,
Zoe says, until next time, guys, awesome work, Hannah. I'm definitely going to order a copy.
Oh, thanks so much, Zoe.
And Dan Goodwin wants to know, do you take commissions, Hannah?
I absolutely do take commissions. Yeah, I'm pretty
Nice.
much open all the time. I'm especially open for commissions right now. I've been sort of between anthology gigs, and so that's when I'm really open.
Yeah, I saw that you had done one on like glitter paper that looked really cool.
Yeah, I've been doing some. I love to do stuff on like craft paper, so I've been doing some glitter paper commissions and some collage stuff where I draw, one character in the foreground and I do a collage background, which have been a little popular, thankfully. So I've been having fun
old
with
school, almost Jack Kirby style with the collage stuff. That's cool.
Yeah, I've got a massive stack of magazines. I'm always on Facebook pages, like, free your stuff and recycling Facebook pages, being like, who's got magazines for me, and picking up some someone's humongous stack they're about to toss in the recycling, like 30 pounds walking home.
Yeah, there's so much movement and motion in your work.
Thank you. I really, that's just definitely something that I hope to have, especially in the action scenes like this. Like,
Yeah. Yeah, you can really see the anime influence in these sequences here.
yeah, absolutely. Well, I love an epic fight scene at the end of
hmm
the story.
Yeah, the use of the pink, like it works really well. It just makes everything pop.
hmm Yeah, I think I had played around with too. The darker tone is like sort of a dark red almost, and I think I
hmm
had it black for a little while and was like, I think I'm just gonna go with a darker pink. I
Yeah.
think that definitely worked out best. The name of my villain, she's Boss Pink, but she's actually her full name is Dark Hard Pink, which was actually a name that a professor of mine had been talking about some old like program he used to use that had a color labeled as Dark
Oh,
Hard Pink.
interesting.
And that just like stuck in my brain, and I was like, that's such a cool name. I need to name a character that.
Yeah.
And that's how she was born.
Any future plans? Any story ideas in mind for continued adventures of this character?
Yeah, definitely. I would love to do something of a sequel one day, and sort of just even more action, more violence, just ramp it up, and let Dee go on more adventures fighting her way through other robots.
Crank it to 11.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
But yeah, that's
awesome.
That's it.
I'm glad I got to see it. That's so cool, Hannah.
thanks.
Yeah.
Really great work. All right, let's throw Sam backstage again while he switches his camera back. Oh, got to get you back on here. Hold on. There you are. Perfect. Yeah, it's such a skill to be able to convey movement in a 2D medium. So I see you doing that a lot through your use of your spot blacks as well as your choice of your camera shots with your perspective to guide the eye.
Thank you. Yeah.
Like, what do you feel that an up and coming artist should study in order to do that? I know we touched on the film a little bit. We talked about cinematography briefly. Do you think that's an important thing? Do you have any go-to tips for up and coming artists to pursue in that regard?
Yeah, I definitely think I think film is maybe a little underutilized as a resource for comic making. Like I said, if you're watching something and you're really digging on a scene, just to sort of pause and take screenshots and write yourself notes, especially about what you're liking about it. But also, something that's really helped me is when I'm looking for reference is to just take videos of myself and take screenshots from those. If I'm struggling to figure out where I want to stop a movement as the panel, is to just sort of take a selfie phone video of myself going through the movement kind of slowly. I scrub through the video and find which portion I want to use as
that's a really great
panel.
tip.
Like,
yeah, because if you do
in your studio, don't be embarrassed.
well, if you do a singular photograph, you might miss out on a certain framing that you weren't necessarily going to think of. So that's really smart with being able to scrub through the video and pick, what portion of the movement you want to convey.
Yeah, well, especially I feel like, when you're looking for reference online, or if you're taking photos yourself as a reference, it's just easy to get bogged down in being like, oh, I need to like take the perfect photo. Like I'm trying to get exactly how it is in my mind's eye. And like, you usually can't, like, you're not going to get what you think you're looking for. Like,
now, what do you have in the works that you're able to talk about? Is there anything cooking that you're able to talk about, like what you're currently working on? You mentioned something about anthology work and that type of stuff. Are you staying pretty busy with your current projects?
Yeah, I'm between anthologies at the moment. I think one of the last ones that I'd done was a like an urban fantasy. I can't remember who was putting that one out, but it was called Concrete Arcanum: Living with Monsters. And then I've got one that, yeah, I'm not sure I can talk about, but it was another horror one that's coming up pretty soon. It's going to be published. It's a second volume, actually, of can't remember the title of it, but it's coming, so it'll be
Now,
on
are
my
these
Instagram eventually. Like,
with the same publisher or different publishers?
these are with different publishers.
Okay.
One of them's Warden Comics. Is the one that I can't remember the title of.
So working on somebody else's characters?
Yeah, it's my story, but it's
Okay.
yeah, someone else's theme for the anthology. So
Very cool. No lack of work between that and your being open for commissions, I'm sure.
Yeah. As far as graphic novels, I'm sort of hoping to in the next few years to put together something big again. I've been playing around with a detective character. That story I can't quite nail down yet, but I've got a lot of sort of bits and pieces of a script for her. She's like a hard-boiled detective, but she's a trans woman in 1950s California. And the vibe with that one is just sort of a little, trying to strike a kind of half serious, half lighthearted. She's sort of, what if your traditional hard-boiled, brooding detective found happiness in realizing who she really was. And so she's very, very sanguine and optimistic, sort of the opposite of what you would expect from that kind of noir detective character.
Right. Have you dabbled with the idea of crowdfunding or doing any kind of Kickstarters for your creator-owned stuff, or do you prefer published?
I have not yet, but it's definitely something I would be open to. And yeah. Thinking about going sort of, the webcomic route also, and, posting pages, kind of a backlog, and, if you want to subscribe, you can get stuff as I'm making them, but
Nice.
not reached that, still in thumbnail and script stages for stuff, so I'm not at that point yet.
Lots of plates spinning up in the air right now.
Absolutely, yeah.
Nice.
Well, I can speak to it. It's like webtoons is like, I feel like that shit's a lost cause, man. It's I don't know. It's just like, it's so much work for so little eyes that actually look at it. You know what I mean?
That's
So
sort of the fear, it's like, I feel like it's like, maybe I can build up a really big audience with this, but you never quite know. And it's,
Yeah,
those
a lot of work sometimes
platforms,
before it happens. Yeah.
those platforms are so oversaturated just in general. So it's like you go to those pages and it's like every single comic looks the same and they all have like 10 million views on them. So it's like you have zero chance to even get a moniker of an audience there.
I feel like it's harder to browse also, these days and find stuff. Everything's just like the AI algorithm. And it's like if you as a reader or an audience member, you're trying to look for something specific, you just can't. You only find what it's like pushing on you, and people who have paid to have their stuff on the front page, and you can't find anything new. Like
easy to get buried amongst all the other stuff that's on there. And then if you decide to go the kickstarting route and you're a crazy person like Sam, you got to deal with all the stress of managing it and doing all of that.
Yeah, I've not yet taken the dive into being my own spokesperson on the whole Kickstarter end. So
now, are you currently full-time with your art?
I am. I work one day at a little gift shop that's local here, just as a little something else to do. But other than that, I'm it's all my artwork. So
how long ago did you make that switch?
Maybe like a couple of years ago. Like,
what was the thing that made you break over and take that leap?
Honestly, it was probably Half Past Pink, where I was like, I really just want to spend all day drawing this and be working on it. I was working a retail job when I was first working on it, and also was sort of coming out of COVID, and I spent like a couple of months where I was just totally ghosting my editor, Akira. And I'm thankful that they, believed in the vision and that they, they wanted the book to come to fruition, and so they did not drop me, even though I was, not being the most communicative at the time.
What do you feel the biggest benefit to going full time with it has been for you?
Probably just, being able to really focus on it, and, you're not, even when you have bad drawing days, it's not like, oh, well, I've wasted my only couple of hours of drawing time doing
Yeah.
something that's not the best work. It's like, well, okay, that's just how it is. I can get over the art block later, and I can come back to it whenever I want. Like,
Speaking of art block, what's the trick? Is there a trick, or is it just keep doing it?
I think
just
it's
keep doing it and you go through it, right?
You have to suffer, like, and keep going. Like,
Dan brings up a good point, man. I haven't put your IG on here. Look at that.
yeah, that's me.
Sorry,
making
Dan.
fingers.
Good question, Dan. I'm glad I asked for people to post their questions, because Dan reminded me. I've been talking your ear off, and I haven't been promoting you on here, Hannah. I'm sorry.
No worries.
Yeah. And that's her main hub, guys. So anything you wanna keep track of with her, you're gonna go over there and give her a follow on IG. That she keeps it simple. We don't have to remember a bunch of different accounts and sites and everything.
Yeah, I used to have a Wix site, and then I wanted to, switch over to something that's more my own, and it's been sort of under construction. So I'm like, Instagram's just gonna be where it is for a little while.
Serve its purpose, right?
Yep.
Awesome. Well, Sam, do you have any more questions for Hannah before we wrap things up tonight?
I mean, not really. The main thing that I was really curious about is like when we're going to be getting more of this.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely one day. It's definitely not
One
off
day.
the table. Yeah, for a sequel, it will happen. But...
She's gonna keep us waiting. Well, hopefully, Hannah, when it does come to fruition, you can come over here and we'll get the news out to everybody.
Yeah, that would be great. I had a great time chatting with you guys today.
Awesome. Well, it's been fun having you on here, and honored to get to see your work. Very cool stuff. And Sam, we got any announcements as far as upcoming guests? Do we have anybody lined up for next week, or is it just going to be you and I hanging out here and sharing artwork together?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure next week is we have Chris Anderson on, CEO, president of Power Pulp.
There we go.
Yeah.
Another big guest. Awesome. Well, Hannah, thank you so much for being here tonight. Appreciate you taking the time with us. Everybody, make sure you go give Hannah a follow. We're going to throw that IG up there one more time. And Brandon Paul says, great stuff, Hannah. Looking forward to seeing more. And Dan Goodwin says, take care, everyone. Awesome stuff. All right, guys, tune in next week, Tuesday, 7 p.m. Pacific, 9 Central. Take care. Peace out. Later.
Bye.